Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch. Creed 3. Hey, y'all. Hey. Welcome to Sisters Who Watch.
I'm Shelby.
And I'm Laura. And we're sisters who watch everything. TV, movies, sports, music videos, concerts, and even shirtless, sweaty men fighting each other.
Yes.
We love to watch, and we love talking about it even more.
That's right.
Today we're watching Creed 3.
The third Creed movie. And if you didn't know, it's also part of the Rocky franchise.
That's it. First movie without Sylvester Stallone.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. All right. So thank you so much for listening, everybody.
Excited to have y'all back.
Yes. So excited to be talking about Michael B. I mean,
my guy.
Our guy.
I've been a fan
since
Friday Night Lights. That's right.
Yes. We're so excited. Fruitvale Station. We're OGs.
Do not come for him.
No, we're OGs. We're OGs.
We're stans. I don't know what his fan club or his fans are, but...
Yeah, the Michael Beehive.
The Michael Beehive.
That's definitely not it. But I'll coin it.
I like it. Let's make that a thing.
I know, I like it too. The Michael Beehive. That's pretty good.
It's actually great.
I love it.
Hopefully Beyonce doesn't get mad.
I know. Hopefully Beehive's not trademarked. It's fine. Okay, so let's talk about our expectations coming into this movie. Creed 3.
Mine were high.
Yes, like... It's been a few years since the last one.
It's been a minute. Because I think the last one came out in 2018. Wow. So it's been a minute. But
5 years.
I was excited.
I mean, yeah. Who wasn't?
The first two were great. I mean, I also, as an MBJ fan, will watch whatever he does, even if it's not that great. Like that Amazon movie from a few years ago.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Wasn't great. But exactly. I watched. So I come out for him. I will watch for him.
Yes.
And this really blew my expectations. I had high expectations, but it really delivered.
I agree. I was expecting to have a fun watch, you know, good acting, you know, some fun men, always.
That's it.
But I was shook at how good it was. I really was. Good. It was great.
Especially for MBJ's directorial debut.
I know. It was so well directed.
So well directed.
So... We were expecting a good movie because we loved the first two. Mm-hmm. Did you like the first one or the second one better?
The first one, I think, will always be the best.
Yeah, I agree. First one was definitely...
It was so good.
First one was really good. Second one, we kind of talked about it. We were on the phone with our dad earlier. We were like, it's not that memorable.
It was fine, yeah.
Yeah, it was fine. But this one really blew me away.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into the movie. Okay, so first we gotta talk about the daughter.
Oh, she was so cute.
Oh, my gosh. So
Loved
precious.
That storyline.
So great. Precious. And in the previous movies, we talked about Tessa Thompson's character. Mm-hmm. She has like hearing impairment. Mm-hmm. So this movie really dives deep with the daughter being deaf and learning sign language and how they spoke sign to the daughter. That was really cool. That wasn't in the second one.
No. Not to this extent. I was really impressed.
Yeah.
I felt like they did a really good job with representation, and the daughter and that storyline of Creed exploring fatherhood, I just thought it was really, really well done.
Yes.
And brought like a nice, dramatic, heartwarming side to the story.
I agree, and it really humanized the characters and grounded them. And I feel like a huge plot point of it was that Creed's a dad.
Yeah.
Like, this is his life. He basically retired, quit boxing. Now he basically trains and mentors young boxers. And he's like, I'm the domesticated one. Haha. Like, I'm at home with my daughter, letting my wife go out, do her thing, all of that. So it was a big part of the movie. So I love seeing the relationship between Michael B., Tessa Thompson, and the daughter.
Yes.
And love seeing the ASL representation. That was so awesome.
Love to see it.
Loved it. And I feel like you don't see that many Black and disabled stories.
No,
not at all. So I thought that was really cool. Mm-hmm. Seeing a Black family doing ASL in a movie. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
No, you really don't.
Yeah. That was awesome. I mean, I know how much we both love Felicia Rashad. She was great.
Icon.
I know. She's great in everything she's in.
Lately, she's always like the amazing mother
She's
figure.
always the mom.
In any black movie show,
she's the mom in every black mom. She's a mom in every black movie. It's welcome.
I love to see
TV
her.
show. It's great. It's great.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So she did a great job in the movie.
She did.
I mean, spoiler alert, it's very sad. She dies. She dies in the movie. And she's been a consistent character.
Yeah, since the first one.
Exactly. So that was definitely sad.
It was.
But it was a good send-off.
It was. I think they did a good job. And I do think that helped Creed realize, like, okay, my family is so important. Like, I need to do what's best for them.
Yeah. I agree. I really loved seeing MBJ really flex his acting chops. You know, the tears, the goodbye scene. I feel like he really had some good moments with Felicia.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, and they had a little fight in there.
I know.
I know. I mean, okay, so what did you think about just Jonathan Majors' character?
I thought he was a great foil to Creed.
I agree. I think he challenged Creed in a way that other characters had not. Mm-hmm. Because the other characters have, challenged Creed, like, physically. Like, oh, they're so strong, blah, blah, blah. But in this movie, it was so personal. Yes. It brought up, like, personal trauma.
Yeah. Like a fight with his mind.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Dealing with that history. So it was, to your point, not only a physical challenge, but it became, like, a mental, emotional challenge that he had to go through. Yeah. And I think that really added a nice depth to the film.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I loved seeing that, that push and pull between, like, the inner child and the reconciliation that he had to find within himself. Mm-hmm. And you saw that unfold in the ring. That was so...
unreal.
Such a great climax to the movie, seeing all that come together. So basically, they were childhood friends, and they met in a foster home, a group home. Mm-hmm. And... basically, they would, like, go fighting together. They practice boxing. And apparently, Jonathan Majors' character was, like, a Golden Gloves champion.
He was, like, the really good fighter.
Yeah.
And Michael B was, like, the friend in the shadows who was helping him.
Exactly. So, Majors was, like, the mentor. Michael B. Jordan was the mentee. Mm-hmm. So then, they get, in a skirmish. And Jonathan Majors pulls a gun. And then the police come... and basically, Jonathan Majors' character, Dame, gets arrested and is in jail for 18 years.
Crazy. Just because he had a gun. He didn't shoot. That's wild. Sad.
But that's the reality.
It's realistic, unfortunately, for a lot of black men in this country.
I know, that was really sad. I was like, damn, he got 18 years for having a gun. It's crazy.
I think that further showed why Damien was willing to go to such great lengths.
I know.
To become the boxing champion.
Yeah, the world heavyweight champion.
He was so motivated.
I know.
Because of the lost time and the frustration and all that pain.
Yeah, it was wild. And I see... and basically the crux of the movie lies upon, like, Damien getting out of jail and finding... Creed being like, hey, old friend, coming to the gym. And I'm curious what you think. Did you see Jonathan Majors' Dame as, like, the villain? Like, did you think that he always had these ill intentions?
I think he did.
Yeah.
Because he was so, I think, motivated by that anger and frustration of watching Adonis all these years be successful at boxing when he felt he was the better boxer and he didn't have the opportunity because he was in prison.
Right.
So I think he had so much pain from that he was going to do whatever it took. So he had to pretend like he was his friend and appeal to him and get in his good graces.
Right.
And it's tough because I thought Jonathan Majors was so good, so you wanted to root for his character. You wanted to trust for his character. It honestly reminds me of Michael B. Jordan in Black Panther as Killmonger.
Okay, that's a good parallel. Yes.
Like the villain you love to hate and who is so complicated that what they're doing might be wrong, but you can understand why they're doing what they're doing.
Right.
And there's a lot of pain and there's a lot of hurt and you want to see them thrive, but you're also like, dang, you're not going about this the right way.
I know. I think it was really tough because exactly you're like, okay, black man coming out of prison, trying to, get his life back after losing 18 years. So I really was trying to root for him. Mm-hmm. And at some point you knew that something was going to happen because, they end up fighting at some point. Yes. So I was interested to see how they got there. But I don't know. I wasn't expecting him to be, like, so evil.
No, I did not think to that extent at all.
And he turned on him. And when
so quick.
When Adonis was on the Stephen A. Smith show, and Dame calls him and was like, you're a coward. You're a bad father. Saying awful. All this stuff.
So
I was
bad.
Shocked. I was like, I thought y'all, like,
thought you were friends.
Mm-hmm. Like, exactly. You were in his house. Like, I totally empathize with Adonis being like, bro, how can you just do this to me?
It was a switch up.
Yeah.
It was a quick switch up.
And it was just like, I guess he was never sincere.
I don't think he was ever sincere, and I also think
sad.
Adonis was slightly naive, because you don't know what Damien's been through 18 years in prison.
18 years?
He's not the same guy you knew.
I know.
When you were kids.
Naive for sure.
So I think it was a combination of him being naive and Damien
taking advantage of his
kindness.
I know. For sure.
But to your point, I also didn't think it was going to go that far left. Like, I didn't think he was going to be that mean. Like, when he punches him on the beach.
Oh, I was shocked.
Damien was scary.
I can't believe he punched him in front of his whole posse. That was so bold of him.
Crazy.
So bold of him. And good on Adonis for not reacting, because that would have been really, really bad.
Crazy.
And something I also want to notice, it's just like, America's so funny. Like, Dame had no money. He was living in some, like, nasty hotel room, whatever. And then once he's got this fight, he had a whole posse. He had a crew.
A nice apartment.
He had a nice apartment with a girl in it.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I hope someone else knows that. He had some girl lying on his couch. He's got a girl now. He's got money. Real quick.
Classic.
Because he got some money. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now he's popular. The ladies want him. I thought that was really interesting. Seeing that trajectory. He's got a nice apartment now. Mm-hmm. All this. Because he won one fight. Crazy.
So, and I think that's what's great about this movie, as we're discussing. Yeah. There were a lot of messages, a lot of themes that you can pick out.
Right.
I think that's what makes a good movie. Like, you can interpret it in so many different ways. You're like, wow.
For sure.
It's a critique on the justice system. It's a critique on capitalism and fame. Yeah. It's a critique on the sports industry. Like, there's so many things.
Yeah, exactly.
And
friendship,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, trust. It was amazing. We have to talk about that fight scene. I thought that was so well directed when we actually got to the match one-on-one. It was such a highly anticipated thing. There was so much build up. And you're like, oh my gosh, these two friends from childhood are finally going to duke it out. I thought it was so well done. There was so much anticipation.
It was such a good climax.
Yes. Story. And I thought the final scene was really well directed. Good on MBJ.
Proud of him.
Because
showing those chops.
I loved how when they blacked out the audience, I loved this part so much. They blacked out the audience, and it was just like the two of them in a ring, and all you heard was like their breath and the punches.
So powerful.
It was so good because
it's a really good device.
It was truly so personal. Like, this wasn't just a boxing match. Like, this was a true, like, fight between longtime friends, brothers, as they called each other. Yeah, what'd you think?
I also thought that was a really powerful scene.
So good.
And I heard someone say this on, maybe in a review or just coworkers talking about it. You typically, in boxing, you don't really see much of the audience.
No.
Like, you don't really see the fans, you don't really see the background, and I think they did a good job of showing, like, the reactions of the family, the friends, the people in their corner. Mm-hmm. Like, the directing, MBJ, to his credit, really made you feel like you were there, not just in the ring, but in the stadium.
Yeah.
And I think he did a good job of really highlighting the experience from all viewpoints.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And I loved also the first fight between Dame and Sanchez. Oof. I think that was tough. And it was really, I feel like you were also watching it from the daughter's perspective, because they kept on showing her and being like, we gotta take her out of here. And you were like, oh my gosh, what if I was a child watching this? So you also had that perspective, how that was so scary and disturbing. And you were like, Dame is not, not a good guy right now.
Playing dirty.
I know, and the shots where like the elbow shot when he got his cheek, that was really good. That was a good shot.
And then how he would keep hitting the same shoulder and the same side.
Yeah, and he would go like underneath the armpit. So, and I feel like we hadn't seen shots like that in a boxing movie before. So I thought that was really
did a good
cool.
job of like trying new things.
Yeah, and MBJ did a good job of highlighting those different shots because every time there was one of those awkward shots hits, you're like, ooh.
There's a focus on it.
Yeah, and you felt that sensation. So
you were more aware, like, oh, this isn't good.
Exactly. That really came across without them being like, oh no, elbow shot, that's illegal. Exactly. You know, you got that.
The directing showed us.
Exactly.
Smart. He did a great job.
It was very smart. And another question I want to pose to you is that obviously we know we love MBJ, sexiest man alive, you know, we love him, super attractive. I mean, newly single.
That is true.
That is true.
Lori Harvey are no more.
Yes, Estoy and Raya. MBJ's words. Estoy and Raya. I want to ask.
Haven't seen him yet, so we'll see.
I know. Maybe we gotta get on it. But I was watching this and I was like, is Jonathan Majors like a heartthrob? Like, what? Like, is he... I mean, he looked really good. Like, he's ripped, he's jacked. But I was like, is Jonathan Majors like our new heartthrob? What are your thoughts? I'm so curious.
It's a good question. So, I think his acting choices are not going to give heartthrob.
No, I agree with that.
So, I think it'll be interesting. Like, maybe he can be like a Denzel. Denzel didn't pick things that were based on being a heartthrob.
Right.
He was just a really good actor and was attractive, so people were into him.
Right.
So, I think maybe he could try and do that. But Jonathan Majors is not giving like, oh, I'm here to be a leading man in a rom-com. No, he's like, I want to be the best actor alive. I don't think he's gonna try to be a heartthrob, but that doesn't mean he can't be.
Right. I mean,
I watched The Harder They Fall. I guess, oh my gosh, it was almost 2 years ago at this point. He was the star. I thought he was amazing. Mm-hmm. And he and Zazie Beetz had like a little relationship in the movie. And I was into it. So I think he can. In that movie, he was like kind of like a bad cowboy. Yeah. So he had a bit more swagger, you know. But in that, I was like, oh, he was giving. He was giving. So I think it's possible in certain roles.
Right. Because this movie, he was definitely the bad boy. Yeah. Very bad. Yeah. But, I mean, it was also giving. He looked really good. I was like,
so I think he can. He won't go out of his way.
No.
But I think it might come naturally.
I know. I was surprised. I was like, whoa. Okay, Jonathan Majors. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
But yeah. But I feel like Michael B. Jordan, I feel like the roles that he's done hasn't given, like, heartthrob. Has he led a rom-com?
He was in... Remember that movie, that awkward moment with, like, Miles Teller and Zac Efron?
He was he, like, the third guy?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I don't even remember that movie.
So, like, he's
done a couple
He's done a couple.
Okay.
But
he's made mostly dramatic choices.
Yeah, he's done mostly dramatic choices.
Got it. But nonetheless, heartthrob he is.
Yes. Yeah. So, I have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
Do you think we will see Adonis again? Or will he stay in retirement?
That's a great question. I was thinking the same thing. I mean, I don't know much about boxing. But if you retire with the heavyweight, like, belt, like, what happens?
I guess you just retire the champion. Clearly, we don't know much about boxing.
Yeah, clearly, we don't know much about boxing.
I'd have to think he retires a champion, and then there's like a match between two new people, and they fight it out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's what I would assume.
If I were him,
go out on top.
Just retire. You have a child. Like, boxing is so dangerous. Like, just
oof. They're talking about all the injuries he had.
I know, like 12 concussions, something crazy.
Gosh.
No. So, yeah, if I were him, I would retire. But
enjoy that nice house.
But I mean, I feel like they're probably gonna keep on making movies.
I mean, I'd be shocked doing really well in the box office.
Yeah, I mean, people love MBJ. So, movie, money wise, like that, he's probably gonna keep on boxing.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, I think there needs to be more story. So it has to be justified. Like, what else is there to tell of this story? You know?
I agree.
So
there has to be a compelling reason for him to come out of retirement. And I think this was.
I don't know if there will be another one like this.
Right. Yeah.
Like, this was pretty compelling. I mean, I would love to see eventually, once his daughter's older, maybe like a Creed on her, because she was into boxing. You could tell she wanted her dad to teach her. Like a deaf boxer. Is that common?
Oh,
like, I feel like that would be a good kind of spin-off.
Yes, you gotta
Creed Jr.
You gotta copyright that.
I know.
You gotta write the screenplay.
Boxer, Creed Jr.
Yes, that's a great idea. Maybe like, how old is she?
Maybe she looked young.
I know.
Oh, maybe she'd be like a teen boxer?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know. She could be like, I don't know. How old is she? Like 8?
Maybe.
7?
Yeah.
Because if she was
8.
like 10 or something, and then in 5 years they do like a movie of her like being trained by Creed, which is her first fight as a teenager.
And then it just so happens like the nemesis,
like his
kid's nemesis is also.
We're giving them such a great idea.
Write it now.
I know, they need to pay us.
Sign the contracts.
Like, please.
We're here.
Like, please employ us. This is a great idea. It basically writes itself.
Literally.
I think that's perfect. Creed 4, it's the daughter. Like, MBJ trains the daughter as a teen boxer.
I think that's it. Tessa Thompson will be happy. It challenges their marriage.